So there have been several smaller Xbox stories that I've had on the back burner, but you definitely don't want to miss because there are updates about Fable, there's updates about Hellblade 2, and there's updates about many of the services that we all love that Xbox has. Let's dive right in. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when these videos go live. I do appreciate you hanging out. So the first story I want to talk about is one that I saw pop up around the internet. I kind of want to pick a bone with it a little bit. Here's the headline that everybody was going with. Fable progress slowed due to Playground's lack of RPG experience and frugal approach. If you actually go and read this interview, I cannot believe that such a negative headline came out of it, because even the pull quote here is, Playground is very organized and production driven. Every 2 years, they put out a Forza Horizon, which has more than a 90 on Metacritic, with incredible quality. They have taken racing games and they've dominated them for the last few years. They're very smart and they know what they're doing. They wanted to branch out with something different, and they thought that what they do well is open world racing games. And though that what they do well, whatever, it's a translated thing. Anyway, but they lacked people with the knowledge of how gameplay is done in an open world, how you control a character, and the actions are very different from what you have in a racing game. At the technology level, you have to develop animation scripting and a quest system. Moving in a car at 300 kilometers has very different requirements than walking through the countryside. And he's absolutely correct. Part of the reason they hired this person, though, was to tackle those challenges, right? So, of course, Playground is going to have to make adjustments, and they obviously did by hiring this person. So, I was very surprised about the headline. But anyway, continuing. Action RPG open worlds are incredibly complicated to do. They take a lot of time. A lot of people are in Playground, and they have the mentality of doing more with less. That if Assassin's Creed is done by 5,000 people, they will have 150 or 200. And if they do Assassin's Creed in 7 years, they'll do Fable in 5. It is good to be ambitious, but you also have to be realistic. And what I saw is that development was getting longer and longer. So it is true that development was taking longer than expected, but I mean, they said Fable will be done when it's ready. So these are like internal things that I'm a little bit surprised to see headlines about. I mean, like, we don't know what the timeline was on Fable. So to say that progress was slowed, progress to what? To the finished product? I don't really get it, right? Maybe, I guess I'm stupid, right? But then you go read the full interview. Let's go read the full interview because there's a lot of great stuff in here. It's been a super nice 3 years, and I think Fable is a super, super interesting IP. The game has incredible potential, and there's a really good team inside. The best thing that Playground has done in 3 years that I've seen is the people that it's gotten for the team. There is a lot of talent. I wish them all the luck in the world, and I really want to play it. That's incredibly positive about it. Nobody wrote about how excited he is about it. They just wrote about the challenges that they have during any development cycle. And sorry for not expanding it here. He also continues, and I actually didn't see this picked up anywhere. So this person, his name is, where is his name? Juan Fernández. And he also worked on Hellblade and Hellblade 2. What I like about Hellblade 2 is that it's a very unique approach. I think it's going to have an impact like Hellblade 1, but for other reasons. Because obviously there are already many things that were new in the first game that then in the second, they will have less impact. But there are other, I don't know why I use that word, of new things that will have that impact. The combat experience takes a very different approach. What I was least satisfied with in Hellblade 1 was the lack of variety in enemies. Long-term combat was suppressed and balanced things. The way the difficulty systems were tuned, the enemies had too much life. They had a lot of durability, and it was heavy many times. We had a lot of variety of attacks and combos, but really the enemies do not encourage you to use one or the other. People found 2 or 3 movements that they liked and repeated them constantly. There were very generous timings of parries and stories that can still be balanced more intelligently. So he talks a little bit about his work on Hellblade 2, and it's actually a really great interview. It's translated from Spanish, I believe, so even the stuff that I'm reading is translated from Spanish, but his overall takeaway about the whole thing is he's really excited about Fable. He thinks that the team, based on what I read in that final quote, he feels like the team's in a great place right now. And while progress may have been slowed, I mean, they were trying to do something that would take 7 years and 5, and they never really committed to a release date for Fable, so it was just sort of a weird story for me. So even talking about it right now, I'm like, okay, so that's everything that's said. I'm just going to leave it up to you to take it however you want. Because to me, I'm just like, okay, they, of course, were developing a new IP. They were over ambitious, but the game is looking good and they have the right people in the right places. So I'm a little more optimistic than the headline from WCCF Tech. Also, in addition to this, I want to talk about a few of the other small Xbox stories. Windows Central, we can now confirm that Xbox is moving ahead with an Xbox Game Pass family plan, which could be set to launch sometime this year. For more information, paying on a higher tier for an Xbox Game Pass family plan will net access to 5 players, 4 games across the entire library. This is great. I love family plans because it's a little weird when you're all in the same household or you have children who also want to have access to this stuff and you have to pay like 2, 3, 4 times. It's great that they're going to have a family plan option for people to actually play. Some details remain unclear for now, though. For example, will there be separate family plans for PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass console? Or will that be exclusive to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate? And the exact pricing is also unknown as of writing. Besides that, it will reportedly be far cheaper than having to pay for several separate accounts as required today. I would have to imagine, I'm just going to throw a number out there. I'm going to guess $24.99, right? Family pass up to 5 members. That would be my guess for the family pricing plan, which would put it comparable to other things that we've seen. There was another Windows Central story here. They were apparently going to take out the Twitter functionality from just Xboxes in general. And they were like, oh yeah, that's really dumb. We really want to keep the Twitter functionality in the app. So they reverted that. Brad Rossetti tweeted about it saying that, thank you for the feedback on the Twitter sharing feature. We flagged it in 2204. That's the patched version or whatever. The change is being reverted to the previous behavior from today in this new build. So that will continue. You know what won't continue though? The Minecraft ray tracing preview build. Minecraft posted an update about how they had released the Minecraft ray tracing stuff a little earlier than anticipated. The previous Minecraft preview build available to Xbox insiders inadvertently included prototype code for ray tracing support on Xbox consoles. This early prototype code has been removed from preview and doesn't signal near future plans to bring ray tracing support to consoles. So that is the news right now. And one final note actually from Daniel Ahmad. Xbox is bringing PC Game Pass to Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam later this year with an Xbox Insider preview today. Our data shows there are over 160 million PC gamers across these markets. Subscriptions can lower the barrier of entry for premium PC games. Great news. It means that Game Pass is going to be available to more people in more places. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when they go live. I do appreciate it. Somebody's at my door, so I got to go. Members, thank you so much. If you want to become a member, click that join button. Seriously, somebody's at my door, so I got to go. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you so much to the members. I'll see you next time.